can see the canyon right behind me. That is absolutely stunning. Good morning, guys, from Mexico. Beautiful Mexico. We are once again in the state of Chiapas, but today we are in another city. Now the thing about Tuxtla is that the city itself is actually pretty boring. There's not that much to do. There's not that much to see. But just outside of the city are tons of like little amazing hidden spots to explore. So today we're actually going outside of the city a little bit, but we're gonna head to a park, and from there we'll get transportation. I'm not actually sure how it's gonna all work out, but it should be a fun experience. So let's go ahead and start exploring this part of Chiapas.
¿Me puedes bajar donde salen los colectivos para Chiapas de Corzo?
Sí, gracias. This has got to be the loudest traffic ride ever in Mexico. Well, after a 30-minute colectivo ride, we've made it outside of Tuxtla Gutierrez. We're no longer in their city. We're in another little town called Chiapas de Corzo. The town itself is a pueblo mágico. It's beautiful, but we're not going to explore the town yet. We are going to go on a boat tour first. We're going to see if we can get tickets, and then after that we'll explore the town. But let's go see if we can get tickets for the boat tour.
70. Número 16. Okay. Ahorita te anuncio. 5 minutos, amigo.
5 minutos. But we've just managed to buy a ticket. It's actually a little bit pricey. It's about 270 pesos. From what I read online, it was like 200 pesos, but I think because of the pandemic, things have gotten hard. Things have gotten more expensive. It's now 270 pesos, but the tour is 2.5 hours long, so I think it's gonna be worth it. But the boat leaves in about 5 minutes. They go every hour, and we've luckily just made it right in time. So we're gonna head over and hopefully get on the boat soon. Right now they're playing some music because a boat has just come back from the canyon, and I think that might be the exact same boat that we're gonna get on. So let's see how this is gonna go.
¿Cuántos días salen eso?
Well, we are on the boat now. I wish you could just like pay a local fishing boat and go, but here we are. It's the only way to see the canyon. You've got all the life jackets and everything, but it's just too touristy really right now. Well, let's hope it gets better. We have, after half an hour boat ride on the river, officially made it. Welcome to the Cañón de Sumidero. main thing to see here in Tuxtla. And the first stop we have here is the main canyon gate right behind me. If you look at the crest of Chiapas, this valley right here, these cliffs, that's the main symbol. That's the main thing to do here in Tuxtla. It is quite impressive. It's just huge, just massive and completely unobstructed. And the only way you can see this view is obviously from the river on a boat. But we're going to continue on now. It's absolutely stunning. The nature is impressive. There's a bunch of wildlife, but the boat's leaving, so let's continue on. Just as I was speaking of wildlife, literally 3 crocodiles appeared out of nowhere. They're like right next to our boat, just 2 meters away. And they're just there chilling under the sun, just enjoying the breeze, enjoying the water, enjoying the view of the canyon. It's a good life to be a crocodile here, but absolutely amazing. Right behind me is the highest point of the canyon. It's really, really tall, but that is the highest point. It is incredible. It's literally just like a mountain, just like a cliff just there. It's beautiful, and you can see the canyon right behind me. That is absolutely stunning. That is incredible. What a beautiful view that is. Oh, the nature here is just incredible. The scenery, absolutely gorgeous. Next stop here in the Cañon de Sumidero is this cave. We are literally inside a cave right now. It's known as the Cave of Colors, and the reason is because the water sediment sort of left these colors on the outside. So as you enter, you can see the colors dropping. It's actually you got red, a little bit of green, but inside you've got like a statue of the Virgin of Guadalupe, and you've got a little cave formation that kind of looks like Jesus, to be honest. It looks like a very sad, stooped Jesus. But it's a very interesting thing, and apparently, like I think sometime in December, they come here and do like a lot of rituals and stuff. So this is also a really religious place as well. But we're gonna continue on with the tour. Next stop we've come to is a waterfall. It's known as the waterfall of the Christmas tree because when it falls, the water sort of makes the rocks on the bottom turn green, and yeah, it actually does look like a Christmas tree. You can see it right behind me. But the waterfall only exists during the rainy season, so we're very lucky to come during the rainy season and be able to see some water, because usually there's just no water at all. It'll just be completely dry. All you'll see is the green sort of rocks. So we're really lucky that we've come at this time. It's really, really beautiful, but the water's not very heavy, so sort of halfway down the waterfall just sort of disappears, but absolutely amazing. We just passed under the waterfall, and as you can see, we're just completely drenched. The water just falls on you. Oh, it's so refreshing, but yeah, you definitely get wet. Well, we've come to the very end point of the tour. No, we're not going to get off here. We were going to go all the way back. But this last point here, it's the dam. It's where the river sort of ends. And what's really interesting is that the guide was just telling us that on the other side behind there on the mountains, there was a village. But then because they built the dam, it flooded. So now there's a new village that's built there. And that's where the current people live. They had to move because it just completely flooded over. But this river, according to the guide, starts in Guatemala and it goes out into the ocean in Villahermosa. So it's a really, really long river that just runs through the canyon. But it's absolutely beautiful. You've got a huge statue they're some famous engineer here in Mexico. I don't really know. But after this part, the river gets really shallow and apparently it gets really fast. So we can't really go there, and especially with the dam, it just becomes impossible. So this is the last point, and we head back to Chiapas de Corzo. So we are now attached to another boat. I don't know what's going on. Oh, they're selling snacks. All right, typical thing. They're gonna sell some snacks. I think we're gonna head back to Chiapas de Corzo. Remember how I said this place was really touristic? That is literally commercialization of tourism at its finest. Well, and just like that, we are back at Chiapas de Corzo. I would say that that tour is probably one of the most beautiful tours you can do in Mexico. The Cañon de Sumidero is truly amazing. The scenery is just incredible. Those huge cliffs are really, really insane. The wildlife is incredible. But the big downside to this entire trip is how heavily touristed it is. I mean, they're just asking for money. Literally, before the tour even began, there was a guy going around asking for tips. Before the tour even began. And then after the tour is over, they ask for tips again, which it's just so annoying. It's clearly driven for money when you go to the dam place at the very end of the tour, and literally you're being attacked by these boats trying to sell you things, it's just super touristy, and that's what I really hate about these sort of really beautiful places, that once people know about it and tourists come and flock, the infrastructure develops for those tourists, and then it completely destroys the beauty of it. I would say that this trip is worth it. It's worth the 270 pesos only because the nature is incredible. The actual experience, the boat ride and everything, the way it's run, I hate it. When you get off the boat here, there'll be like 3 people coming at you trying to sell you things, drinks, jewelry, souvenirs, everything. It's really annoying. But the canyon is beautiful, and unfortunately, this is the only way to see the canyon, unless you hire a private boat, which is like $100, so that's even worse. So for me, love the canyon, hate the way it's being done, hate the way it's being managed. An important thing to realize is that when you go on this trip, when you go on this tour, they give you a bracelet. This is the bracelet for the entrance to the national park. Now, as long as you have this bracelet on you, you're allowed to enter the national park. So if you have it on for a whole year, the validity of this bracelet is basically a whole year. There's no expiration date. So tomorrow we're going to be going back into the national park, so we have to make sure we keep this bracelet on. So if you're coming to the Cañon de Sumidero, do not take off your bracelet unless you're absolutely sure that you're never coming back to the Cañon de Sumidero. But if you are, keep it on, because you're going to save, I think, 50 pesos every time you enter the national park. That being said, we're back at Chiapas de Corzo, and obviously we barely even visited this place because we just came here, got the boat, and left. Let's go ahead and start exploring this little beautiful pueblo mágico of Chiapas de Corzo. Alright, I've walked around Chiapas de Corzo for a little bit, and it seems like there's actually not that much to do. It's a really small town. A lot of the churches and main things are unfortunately closed. So just like in other places of Chiapas, there's not that much to do. But the one beautiful thing, the one main thing that you have to come and see when you're here in Chiapas de Corzo is this beautiful structure right here in the central plaza of Chiapas de Corzo. This is the colonial fountain of Chiapas de Corzo. it's a really nice just park, and around here there's like all these little shops. I love how beautiful these shop houses are. They're like all in these like sort of arched alleyways, and the artwork that they have there is just absolutely incredible. It's really beautiful. Tons and tons of incredible artwork here, and that's what they're really famous for until tourism took off and they had the boat tours into the canyon. But this place is just absolutely incredible. It's quiet, it's peaceful, it's a small pueblo mágico, but it's a beautiful pueblo mágico. And with that, I think that basically wraps up our time here in Chiapas de Corzo. I mean, this amazing structure here, it's absolutely magnificent, but other than that, there's really not that much to do around here. It's a beautiful town, it's a nice town to walk around. You've got beautiful little sort of shops and artisanal stores, but really when it comes to things to actually do in the town, there's not really that much. So we are going to head back to Tuxtla Gutierrez by taking one of those colectivos again. Hopefully we'll be back in the city soon. And with that, a quick half an hour bus ride later, and literally at a price of 16 pesos, we are back in the city of Tuxtla Gutierrez. It is an amazing way to start off our time here in Tuxtla. I think Chiapas de Corzo, the city itself, the town is really beautiful. Not much to see. The canyon, beautiful, but very touristic. So everything has its pros and cons, but definitely if you come here, a must see. The canyon is beautiful. Now, in my opinion, of course, I much prefer the canyon in Chihuahua, but this is still amazing. It's a different type of canyon. It's sort of tropical, you know, it's a different temperature, different type of vibe. So it all depends on what you're looking for. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more food and travel videos. We've got a few days here in Tuxtla. We're gonna be exploring the area. There's a lot more to see, so I can't wait to share it all with you guys in the upcoming videos, so make sure to stay tuned. All right, until the next one, bye guys.